Skelden, welcome to the President of this Cooperative Republic of Guyana, Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali. Who voting for PPP? Let me hear you make some noise. Anybody voting for the People's Progressive Party? Let me hear you make some noise. Once again, friends, let me hear you make some noise for our president, the president of the people. PPP, 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 PPP. Let me hear you make some noise once again as you give. Thank you very much. Comrades and friends all, our Honorable President, the President of the People, Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali, Minister responsible for Finance, Honorable Ashni Singh, Minister responsible for Agriculture, Honorable Zulfikar Mustapha, our Regional Vice Chairman of Region 6, Comrade David Armagan, and our Minister within the Ministry of Housing and Water, Honorable Susan Rodriguez. Comrades and friends all, let me say welcome to all of you as we gather here this afternoon to this grand public meeting to listen to the word of our President himself, as he is someone who doesn't sell promises, but someone who fulfills them, someone who walks the length and breadth of our country, listen to everyone's issues and problem and try to somehow find a solution. But once again, friends, welcome to all of you, and let me hear a round of applause as we welcome our President, the President of the People. Thank you very much. Without further ado, my task here this afternoon is to introduce our first speaker for this afternoon. And she is no other than the Minister within the Ministry of Housing and Water, Honorable Susan Rodriguez. Come on, comrades, put your hands together for our dear Minister. Thank you.
Thank you very much to you, Mr. President, my fellow cabinet colleagues, regional chairman, REO, other officials who are here from the region, heads of agencies and staff, and of course, the people of Skelden. Good afternoon. It's so warming to see all of you here on a Sunday afternoon. What a better way to spend a Sunday afternoon than with your president, who is here in the flesh to speak with you Thank you so much for coming out and for re-energizing us. For anyone who was feeling tired, I don't know that this team gets tired, but we did have 2 full days of meetings yesterday and today. We spent all day and night in the region. We not only had public meetings, but last night we were at Mandir. This morning we were at church. We met with comrades last night, and the meetings go on and on. Because you have a president that understands what it means to be a public servant. We are fortunate to have a president who continues to give of himself selflessly to the people of this country. We are not a fair weather government or a fair weather party. Whether we are in government or out of government, we have always been present with the people. We have always walked with you, stood by you, represented you. And today we are here as your government celebrating almost 5 years of achievements again under the leadership of President Ali. We will continue to show up for you any day of the week, any time of the day. And you know that when we say we're going to do something, that it gets done. You know that you can put your trust in the People's Progressive Party Civic. And that is the most important characteristic that any political entity can have. Trust, the confidence of the people. You know, in 2015, the APNU AFC came to, I know, Auntie, oh Lord, them people there. They came to the people, especially young people, who never lived under a PNC administration, came to young people and asked for their vote, made a whole host of promises. They had every solution for every problem under the sun when they were in opposition. And then when they went into government, I don't have to tell you what they did. Because the people of this country, especially Region 6, felt the brunt of their neglect, the stagnation, and the vindictiveness of the opposition. All of the broken promises that they made, especially to young people. All of the failed policies. All of the things that they took away. We know what they did. And then, as if they didn't take enough in the 5 years, they ended their tenure by trying to also take away your vote. And I was saying, yes, yeah, okay, good. So we gonna know what the problem. We're grateful for the water. Thanks, Uncle. So, we know, I was saying at the other meeting, that the fight for democracy, again in 2020, was led by the PPP. But we walked hand in hand with the people, with you all who stood up, whether it was on social media, whether it was helping us to guard containers, to secure the vote. The people of this country were involved with us in the struggle to restore democracy. And we thank you very much for standing with us and for standing up for democracy in this country. And then President Ali was sworn in, and it was as though overnight this dark cloud was lifted from this country, and people breathe a sigh of relief because they know that hope has been restored, and they know that all of their problems will dissolve because President Ali is now in charge. And it is that trust that you've put in us that continues to give us the energy to do this, to come out, to keep meeting you. And even though we have fulfilled all of the commitments we made in our manifesto, we continue to build on that. We continue to go beyond that because we're a party of builders. We're a party of progress. We're a party of advancement. We're a party of transformation. We're a party that always walks with you in the good times and in the bad times, in government or in opposition. We will always be there to represent you. So when we come into communities and have these meetings, which is nothing new, we've been doing this all the time because this is how we believe that we need to lead and govern. We go back and we find real solutions. And so that's why I don't have to tell you about the improved water conditions because somebody just said it. Similarly, and that's the story that has been repeated across the country, in all of the regions, we've made investments in the water sector to improve the quality of water. I believe only in this area, it's only Crabwood Creek now that has to receive treated water, and we have a small treatment plant that we have already commenced the construction for, and that will be completed by the end of May. So the people of Crabwood Creek, if anybody is here from Crabwood Creek, you will also be receiving treated water with no iron content in 1 month's time. So you can look forward to that. And we just came from Blackbush Polder, where we are doing similar improvements in the water quality there and all across the country. In the housing sector, I know we've been in the region already, and Region 6 has already received 2,200 house lots in the last 4.5 years. And this month, April 25th and 26th, we will be returning to the region to deliver another 1,600 house lots to the people of Region 6. I know that some of you have waited a long time for your allocations, but you know, sometimes I gotta struggle with Gaisuko and Nisil and Lands and Survey because we have to get land for housing development. Similarly, the farmers need land. So sometimes we have a difficult decision to make and to decide where we're going to put new housing developments. But we continue to acquire new lands with the support, of course, of His Excellency, who continues to be the engine behind the housing sector and providing more land for us to create new housing developments. And so we'll continue to do that so that we can address all of the applications in Region 6 and in all the other regions to deliver home ownership and empowerment to people. Because the housing program is not just about giving you a piece of land. It's about empowering you. It's about increasing your net worth. Because from the moment you acquire your house lot, it's worth more than you paid for it because it's heavily subsidized. And so from the moment you acquire it, you've already increased your net worth. And then when you have access to that house lot and we complete the infrastructure program and we have utilities and we put in the infrastructure and we build the highways, that land value increases automatically. It's worth millions of dollars. And with the other improvements that we're making in the region will help property value to increase, giving you economic empowerment. We promised 50,000 house lots. We've already delivered 43,000, transforming the lives of 43,000 Guyanese families. And we will exceed the 50,000 that we promised the people of this country. So you have a government that works. We're not fair weather. We're not lazy. We continue to work hard every single day for the advancement of the people of Guyana. And you know that you see the transformation. Everywhere you look, there is transformation. Anybody who said they see transformation, they're blind. They don't want to see. Because there's transformation all around us. The same people who come into you now and asking you to support them, walking on concrete paved roads and telling you the PPP ain't do nothing for you. So many things happening all around, undeniable progress. And we're just beginning. This is just the starting. Guyana has leaps and bounds still to go. You are still to hear about the other transformation, economic transformation that is about to be unlocked when we reveal some of the plans that we have for the future of Region 6 and for the future of this country. And that's why President Ali is here today to speak to you again, because we always believe in talking about our ideas, pitching them to you and hearing from you also. What are your proposals? What are your suggestions on how we can improve the delivery of our services in office and how we can develop some more programs and policies and projects that will see the advancement of the people of Region 6 and of Skeldon in particular here this afternoon. I want to end by thanking all of you for your support over the last few years. We appreciate so much the confidence and the trust that you have placed in us and the loyalty that you have to this party and the loyalty that we too have shown by ensuring that we honor the responsibility that you have given to us, this very important responsibility. And we ask you to continue to trust us. And we ask you to beware of those wolves who are coming in sheep clothing, who now have solutions for everything, and who now want to stoke fear in people, and who want to just thrive on negativity. You know that the reality is different. You know that this country has been lifted over the last 5 years, and the only place you can go with the PPP is upward. It's only upward we can go. We're not going back. We're not going back to fake promises. We're not going back to suffering. We are not going back to people who take their eyes and pass we and tell lies and make promises that they had no intentions of fulfilling. And who come in different clothes, you know. There was PNC, PNCR, APNU, APNU plus AFC, minus AFC. I don't know what more they're going to come with this time now. But you know the symbol. You know there is one everlasting symbol that don't change. It don't change color. It don't change shape. It's one cup. And the cup always run it over when the PPP is in government. You know that. So, comrades, friends, I want to thank you again. Look. You're going to get a bigger cup for all his blessings. So, comrades, I want to thank you for coming out this afternoon, and we're going to move seamlessly through our remarks because I know you're anxious to hear from the man of the moment. So I'll move quickly to my honorable colleague, the Honorable Zulfikar Mustapha, the Minister of Agriculture. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Minister Rodriguez. Your Excellency, President Irfan Ali, my colleague, Dr. Ashni Singh, Regional Chairman, other government officials, or more importantly, residents of Skeldon, 5274 and Crowwood Creek. Let me hear your good afternoon. We are happy to be here, and I'm very happy to be in the company of the President here this afternoon. And as Susan rightly said, today is 2 full days. The President is in Region 6, meeting residents across Region 6 to listen to you, the most important part of these meetings, where the president will listen to you. We are not coming here only to talk to you and inform you about our programs and policies and what we'll be doing in the future, but we want to listen to you. That is the hallmark of the People's Progressive Party civic government. We came 4.5 years ago, just before the elections in 2020. We had a number of consultations and meetings across this country. We came to this area here, the Upper Quarantine. We had a number of discussions, a number of community meetings and public meetings. We ask you, what are your immediate priorities, what you want us, when we get re-elected into government, what you want us to do for you. You made a number of suggestions. A number of proposals were made. We went back, we sat down, we took out all the main issues, and we crafted a manifesto. A manifesto that we went to the election with. We came back and we told you that as long we are elected in office, we will deliver on all these promises and commitments. And I want to tell you, just over 4.5 years, less than our term in office, less than 5 years in office, for the first time in the history of this country, a government under the leadership of Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali has delivered all the commitment and promises we have made. All the commitment and promises. And Minister Rodriguez made some very salient points. She told you just now that they are once again coming around. You never see them before now. When election concluded in 2012, you never saw them coming to your community to ask you what you need. But we are seeing them coming around again to make these false promises. And let me tell you what, right here in Skeldon, right here in the Upper Quarantine, you face the brunt of the problems that was inflicted on the people of this country by the APNU AFC. You are the people. Over 2,000 workers. You all remember they said they were going to give sugar workers 20% increase when they got into government. What they did? They closed 4 sugar estates, including yours estate here. Over 2,000 workers lost their job. Lost their job. And this estate, this Skeldon estate, the last year this estate operated, this estate is supposed to be the flagship estate of Gaisuku. It produces 31,000 tons of sugar the last year, and APNU AFC closed the estate. Closed the estate just to spite the workers because they thought that the workers and sugar people who are involved in sugar are supporters of the PPP. So they want to punish those people, put them on the breadline, and suffer their families. We must never forget that. We must never forget that. We must always remember it. Because what they did, they didn't only put out our people on the breadline or put them out of employment, they stole our children's future. They stole our children's future. And look what is happening today in our country. There are so many opportunities being created. There are so many opportunities being made available to our children and to the community at large. And I can go and list all of those opportunities and tell you, we are seeing today a total transformation is taking place in our country. A total transformation is taking place in our region. We are seeing our region is being modernized. In every single community you go now, you are seeing we are doing infrastructure work, rehabilitating roads, doing D&I work, giving support to the local bodies in the community, make opportunities available right here in Region 6. Right here in Region 6, those persons who never worked in their life before, who was just at home doing housework, this government make it possible 4,800, mostly female, women have been involved and employed in the part-time work. Those are opportunities that we are talking about. Thousands of our students and children are getting free scholarship from this government. And the president, I'm sure when the president speaks with you all, you will hear a lot of other announcements that he have made already and some of the new things that we'll be doing. So what we are doing out of the 2,000 persons that they have dismissed, we have already employed 305 of those persons. But we have a long-term plan for this quarantine area. And we have had a number of meetings, and there will be more economic opportunities for residents on the upper quarantine. Right now, we have started the recultivation of cane at Skeldon. Before the year is out, we'll plant another 5,000 hectares of cane right here at Skeldon so that we can create more economic opportunities. What they told the rice farmers, they say they will expand the rice industry. They promised they promised the rice farmers $9,000 and $10,000 a bag for the paddy. When they get into office, they said that rice was a private business. It's a private business between the millers and the farmers. Comrades, these people, we must never, ever forget what they did to us. And that is why Minister Rodriguez tells you that the People's Progressive Party has been here during the rough time and during the good time, because we have been making opportunities for you. And I want to tell you that over the last 4.5 years, when you look at our achievements today, and you look when we took over this country in August of 2020, not the full 4.5 years we had to implement our plan, because we have to take out of that 2 years we had the pandemic in our country, the COVID. People were restricted to move around, go to different places. Some people were working from home and things like that. And these development that I am talking about, the transformation that is happening in our country, the modernization that is happening in our country, this is only 2.5 years. Imagine if we had full 5 years now, and the next 5 years under President El Fanali, what will happen to our country? So yes, this 5 years, we have seen massive transformation taking place. But the next term under the PPP civic government, Guyana will move a far way from where we are today. We came a far way from 2020. We have developed a number of projects. We have made tremendous transformation in all sectors: health, housing, water, education, agriculture, you name it. Guyana has made tremendous transformation. And for the next 5 years, I want to tell you that they will come again. They will use their false prophets to come to fool people. They will use, they can't use the AFC anymore. We heard Minister Rodriguez said that you minus the AFC now, but they get other people they're using as proxy, who come in because they can buy car and buy house and buy land for people. But we are not vulnerable, and I know you in quarantine here are not vulnerable to those things anymore. You will continue to support this party. You will continue to support a party that has been here for you during the rough times and during the good times. And comrades and friends, I want to tell you that this party, we have a great history. The party of Chedi Jagan. And when you look from 1950, from the formation of this party, we have fought for independence for this country, the People's Progressive Party. We have fought dictatorship, and we have started the development process from 1992 to 2015. From 2015 to 2020, we saw what happened in our country. Leaving out all the economic plights and all the problems. When we had elections in 2020, They wanted to steal a country in front of the world. For 5 months, we have to struggle, and we prevail at the end. And we prevail, and the People's Progressive Party, Civic, went into government. We took a country that was almost bankrupt, an economy that was down. And today, we are the shining light, not only in the Caribbean, but the world, the fastest growing economy. And comrades, I ask you, continue to support this party. Let us give the young, vibrant, energetic president of our country the next storm so that our country can move forward. At this point in time, I'll pass the mic on to my other colleague, Dr. Ashni Singh, and he will continue the discourse. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. My distinguished colleague, Minister Zulfikar Mustapha, Minister of Agriculture and Executive Secretary of the People's Progressive Party. Your Excellency, President Irfan Ali, my other cabinet colleague, Minister Susan Rodriguez, Regional Chairman, Vice Chairman, REO, heads and representatives of various government agencies, but most of all and most importantly, my dear brothers and sisters, comrades and friends, and fellow Barbicians. Most of you see me here very often. And so I know that you didn't come to hear from me. You came to hear from the main man, the boss. I know. Over the last, so I will be very quick. Over the last 2 days, President Ali has been in Region 6 and he has had a non-stop schedule. He has been doing meetings from early in the morning until very late in the night. I think he closed off probably 3 or 4 o'clock this morning, meeting and speaking with various groups. Some of these meetings, many of these meetings were meetings just like this. Yesterday he did 3 meetings like this, starting from New Amsterdam and coming all the way up to Albion. Today again, he had several meetings like this. He started at Port Moran, he went into Blackbush Polder, and he's now at Skeldon. And at all of these meetings, we had a massive turnout. We had an overwhelming number of comments, people standing up and acknowledging the tremendous contribution that President Ali's government has been making to improving their lives. A few of them had issues they wanted to raise, and they raised those issues. And almost all of them who raised issues had their issues addressed or referred to the relevant agency immediately. And there's a lot that I can tell you about how these meetings have gone and how positively they have gone and how overwhelming it has been to see the outpouring of love for the People's Progressive Party and for President Irfan Ali. I'm not going to repeat everything that transpired at those meetings, but I'm going to single out one comment that was made by one gentleman who stood up at one of those meetings. I believe it was yesterday. And he said, Mr. President, just a few years ago, 6 or 7 years ago, if you drive down the Corriverton coast, you would see dozens upon dozens of abandoned homes and properties. People who had gone away and left their homes. In some cases, they put up a for sale sign. but they struggled to get a sale, and they were willing to give it away for next to nothing. And in some cases, they walked away without even bothering to put up a for sale sign. You know this is true because you live here. And you know why that was the case. You know why up to 2019, during that 5-year period, people packed their bags, jumped on a plane and went to America or wherever. Because during those 5 years, they were overcome by an overwhelming sense of hopelessness. Because they saw what APNU AFC did to this country in the short space of 5 years, starting from the very first day that they came into government. From the very first day that APNU AFC came into government in May 2015, they started a pattern every day of breaking their promises, violating their commitments, failing to deliver their own manifesto, taking away benefits that the Guyanese people were enjoying, and benefits that the Guyanese people were enjoying when the PPP was in government previously, without a single barrel of oil and without a single dollar of oil money. The cash grant to children was being paid without a single barrel of oil. The bonus to disciplined services, police, prison officers, army, fire service officers, that bonus was being paid without a single barrel of oil and a single dollar of oil money. We were able to take off, in fact, we didn't put on VAT on basic food items, on medicine, on educational supplies. There was no VAT on those things. On heavy equipment for agriculture and mining, there was no VAT. And we were able to do that without oil money. APNU AFC came in, and one of the first things they did, although they had promised to cut the VAT, one of the first things that they did was to put on the VAT on things that did not have VAT before. Well, this comrade said, APNU AFC put the VAT, and they can't fool the VAT. You are absolutely correct. Because no matter what they do, they can't get it right. No matter what they do, they can't get it right. And so from day one, the people of Guyana saw that APNU AFC was once again going to destroy Guyana like they had done prior to 1992. The people of Upper Quarantine know. The people of Skeldon, Corriverton, Crabwood Creek know more than anybody else what the PNC had done to Guyana prior to 1992. Criminalizing people, making people criminals for eating potato, aloo. Imagine you can go to jail for eat fried aloo and roti. And the people of Crabwood Creek know that history. They know how police used to come, search your house for see if you eat, if you're sane, little fried aloo and rice, or little fried aloo and roti. Police will come knock at your door at Crabwood Creek. You know there's a popular joke. You remember they used to get toll gate on the road? You remember them toll gate? They used to get a popular joke that when your drive got the toll gate, the policeman, them a breathalyze you, them a test your breath for see if them a smell the sardine. Today we talk these things like if they are jokes. Today we talk them like if they are jokes, but they are not jokes. Because that is what the PNC did to Guyana and did to the people of Berbice. And as soon as they came back into government, they started to do the same. They started to do the same, to destroy our country, to criminalize our people, to take away benefits and to pauperize Guyanese in every single community. And so it's no wonder that Guyanese people, and in particular the people of Region 6, start to hustle and pack them bag and left them property. Some put on one for sale sign, some accept any price, and like I said, some not even bother for put on one sign say for sale. They're gone. And the comrade who spoke at the meeting, he made an interesting point. He said, Mr. President, today, they might come back and they might look for them same house. And all of us have family like that. All of us have relatives today. Sometimes they might look for land where them not even been owned. And they must start for that too. And there is a reason. There is a reason why today you cannot even get a piece of land. You believe anybody will get land on Molson Creek and sell land now? You believe you can find anybody with land on Molson Creek or Corriverton Creek? You can't. Here, let me not talk, right? Let me not talk. Let me put it like this. If you know anybody who wants to sell land on Molson Creek, must let me know, right? You can't, nobody today, since the PPP has returned to office, and hope has been restored, and optimism has been restored, and transformation is taking place in front of your very eyes. People once again understand what a brilliant future Guyana has, and what a brilliant future Region 6 has. What they own, they're holding on to. They're acquiring more, they're building on it, they're developing on it because they know the future is bright. And if you look at the whole of Region 6, there is a remarkable story of transformation. I'm not going to tell you that whole story because the President is speaking. And you will hear it from him. But I can tell you very briefly that if you start from Barbie's River, President Ali has said, we built a bridge in a previous PPP government when President Jagdeo was in office. We built a bridge. And you know how that bridge changed people's lives. You know how that bridge changed people's lives. You know, the story that I like to tell people, as many of you know, my grandparents, as some of you know, my grandparents are from Bushlad Village. And when we had any family got to go overseas, my grandparents would leave Bushlad Village and go to New Amsterdam Stelling. And they would wait at New Amsterdam Stelling. Sometimes you gotta wait whole night till next day. Then you cross. Then you come down to Georgetown. They used to stop by us, so you gotta start about 2 days before. That 3 days before, right, Auntie? Then they used to come, they would stop by my parents' house in Georgetown. They got rest because of 2 days now you're traveling, you know. Then, well, me used to get a little fryalu, right? Me used to get a little fryalu. Used to come from Corriverton Creek, but that's another story, Mr. President. Anyway. And they would stop by us and spend the night. And next morning, they would go to the airport and they would drop off whoever, the family, whoever, you see them off. Your family aboard this plane at the Mary. They might fly go JFK in New York. They might go home. They might bed. They might sleep. They might wake next morning. Then Ghana walk. And me are just still there, Rosignal, standing away for class. He didn't meet home back yet. He didn't meet home back yet because you're still waiting, Rosignal, standing for class. Here, comrades, today we laugh at that. Today we laugh at it. But all of us who are old enough lived through that period. All of us lived through that period. All of us lived through it. So President Jack Dale built that bridge, and it served us well. But President Ali has said he wants heavy containerized trucks, cargo. He wants no limitation on the size and volume of the traffic that must travel from Paramaribo across the Corriverton River to Molson Creek, to Crabwood Creek, to Skeldon, to New Amsterdam, cross the river to Georgetown, to Linden, to Mabura, to Lethem, to Brazil and back. So he has said he will build a 4-lane bridge across the Berbice River. And mind you, this is not an idea. That's correct. And Mr. President is reminding me, this is not an idea. As Apnu used to say, them don't green paper, one blue paper, one yellow paper, one feasibility study. This is not an idea or a paper. Construction of the bridge will start before the end of this year. And all along, from Berbice River, I can tell you, all the way down the river, East Bank, Berbice, what we are doing, extending the road, carrying in electricity into communities that never had electricity. I can stop in New Amsterdam, I can tell you about the brand new hospital that we're building and the brand new nursing school. I can come to Palmyra. I can tell you about what's happening in Palmyra. You can, Deepwater Harbor, yes, comrade. Deepwater Harbor. You know the story, we can give you the mic, you can take over. Palmyra, I can come down to Port Morant and show you the brand new Tourism and Hospitality Institute and Oil and Gas Institute that are already, the Oil and Gas Institute is already training people, and the Tourism and Hospitality Institute is already under construction. I mentioned Palmyra quick, but you got a brand new stadium and a whole new development there, hotels, malls, etc. Come all the way down, housing scheme. Come all the way down, number 75 village, a brand new hospital, a brand new housing scheme. Building the road all the way to Molson Creek and to El Dorado, and building the bridge across the Corriverton River, and those things are happening. And all of them, almost all of them, you can see already. Almost all, you can see them visibly. So comrades and friends, there's an incredibly exciting future ahead for the people of Region 6. And I want to thank you very much. And I know the President is speaking after me. Like I said, he will elaborate even more. But I want to thank you very much. I want to join all of my colleagues on this head table in thanking the people of Upper Corriverton and the people of Region 6 for standing with the People's Progressive Party, your party. But speaking of standing, I will not stand any longer between you and the president you love. So it is now my privilege, comrades and friends, to hand the mic over to our president, your president and our president, Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali.
Thank you. Thank you very much, comrades. You know, when we were growing up, I would have said, the ministers talk out everything. You know, when I was coming here in the vehicle, I was thinking to myself, the last 24 hours, going on to 48 hours, I spent every minute here in Region 6. And I've been speaking from community to community. And they've been broadcasting these messages across social media. And then I thought to myself, what an incredible story of development, that we can broadcast this message and yet go to every single area and speak specifically about a development plan for that area that is separate and apart from the area we just left. We have an incredible vision and development strategy for for Region 6. One in which we want to give to every single citizen of this region an opportunity to excel and to be the best they can be. An opportunity to achieve the maximum potential of what you can achieve. For that to happen, we first of all need to do some things for ourselves. And today, I want to talk to you about a positive culture and a positive mindset. You see, if we train our minds and our thinking to be unsuccessful, or to be lazy, or to be complacent, or to be complaining, or to be inactive, then our actions will also be lazy, complacent, inactive, and will not contribute to our own upliftment. Think about it for a second. You have so many persons around the world, in your community, and all over, who came from absolutely limited resources, from the belly of poverty, but they have accomplished the greatest of things because they develop a positive mindset. And that is something that is key and critical as we embrace this future that is ahead of us. We have to develop a winning mindset, knowing that everything we speak about under the People's Progressive Party civic government, we will achieve and will accomplish because you can trust us to do it. So the important part of being positive about your future is trusting those who you are placing your future in. Trusting the hands of those who you are placing the future in. There are many examples. The APNU, AFC, PNC was in government for 33 years. And there are many examples in their most recent time in government, 2015 to 2020, and 2011 to 2015, when they used their one-seat majority in Parliament to stop every single development of the People's Progressive Party civic government. So they were in office for 33 years, and for 4 years, they were in control of government because of their one-seat majority in Parliament. And when you look at their promises and their record, you know, if you're going into boxing and you want to fight the champion, you have to present your score sheet, your record sheet. And you have to have so many wins under your belt before you get a shot at the title. Am I not right? You can't come out of nowhere. Or you can't say that I was fighting in some backyard and that should give me a shot at the title. Ask yourselves a question. Why is it that the APNU, AFC, PNC never want to talk about their track record? Why they never want to defend the time they were in government? If you're asking for the vote and confidence of the people, then you have to demonstrate to them that you have the track record for a shot at the title. But they can't do it because they're ashamed and afraid of their own track record, because they betrayed the trust that people placed in them. But we, on the other hand, we can stay here all night and defend and talk about our track record because we have delivered to the people every single time we were in government. And they like to make this point that there is more revenue from oil now. But I want to remind you that we give the old age pension to every single pensioner without oil. We give the Because We Care grant without oil. We give public assistance without oil. We give textbooks without oil. We give VAT-free electricity and water without oil. We give the subsidy on electricity and water to our pensioners without oil. On the other hand, they took away the subsidy to our pensioners with oil. They took away the Because We Care grant with oil. They took away the disability benefit with oil. They took away the textbook with oil. They took away all the subsidies that we give with oil. What that tells you, it is not about oil. It is about a philosophy. It's about a mindset. And they added VAT. It's about a mindset. It's about a philosophy and a mindset that does not change even today. When we announced that from August 1st, you will cross the Barbies River Bridge and all the other bridges, Wisman, Demerara, free of cost, instead of them congratulating the government, they said, what study did you do to come up with that, to give these people free crossing? And I say, we do not need any study when we are giving to the people, when we are giving to the people, when we are making lives better for the people. And my friends, we have invested in education to the extent that children in Anna Regina are now topping the CXC and CAPE exams, not only in Guyana, but across the Caribbean. And instead of them being happy about that, you know what they ask? Why are the children in Anna Regina writing so many subjects? In the last 72 hours, I've announced 3 additional measures, one in which every single child writing 8 subjects CXC, we will pay the complete cost for that. And in addition to the support we've given our farmers already, the rice farmers, we're transferring $2 billion to give 1 bag of fertilizer for every acre of land. And when we came on the outreaches, there were a number of persons who did not make the 750 contributions, but they contributed between 500 and 749. And today, we are now giving them a cash grant, a cash payment for the contributions they made. And that is not all. There was one time when our old age pension was of no interest to those overseas. Today, all of you who have family, everybody want back the Guyana passport, the Guyana identity, so they can get that old age pension, because it has now a big value. You remember when you used to receive, when you are receiving your $100 US, every month, you know, your family send you 100, you're good. You think you're good. Today, they are now thinking, hey, every month I can collect a 200 here, boy. And it's going to continue to increase. The $100,000 grant. And more importantly, I'm sure many of your relatives who got 500 and 600 NIS contribution are already calling you, telling you're coming in this state. Find out when they'll close off that thing. There's a reason why once again Guyanese who left these shores are rushing to get back their Guyanese passport and Guyanese identity, because they are seeing the changes. They are understanding the transformation. Recently, Secretary Rubio was here, and he said something very important. He said many countries go through development. Some country goes through change. But what we have seen in Guyana is a country under transformation. And he went on further to say that the country has the right vision and administration to lead that transformation. We must ask ourselves some very simple questions in life. When you have leaders who find joy in stoking division, if there is an unrest or an issue in any community, as we have seen recently in Linden, there were those who found joy in trying to stoke the fire, in trying to create division, in trying to create mischief. We must ask ourselves, what drives such a mentality? If you truly care about our country, the image of our country and our people, what kind of people would celebrate such action? What kind of mentality would encourage such behavior? These are important questions you must ask, because they are questions that are linked to your future, your children's future, your parents' future. Because the philosophy that people comes into leadership with is important. You know, the story that Ashni told just now is such an important story. Because this generation of children who are growing up in a different age, and they will always believe that this is how it is today, this is how it was always. When they get this free university education and the gold scholarship and all the digital tools, they have very limited appreciation for the struggles of the past. And when you don't have any appreciation for the struggles of the past, you will undervalue what you have today. And that is a big danger in our society, where a lot of people today believe that this was always the case, and they undervalue what we have today. They undervalue the contribution of the People's Progressive Party Civic to Guyana. This is the party that led the fight against colonization, led the fight to independence, stood up to dictatorship, won back democracy, fought all the slogan, slow fire, more fire, fought the hate, the racism, fought every form of anger, hate that came against us. And this is the party that stood tall with the people, for the people, by the people. So my friends, my respected elders, as we build this culture of positive mindset, we must learn how to develop a winning culture. We must learn how to express gratitude. We must learn how to value life itself. Because in this new Guyana, we can easily lose our values. We can easily lose our culture. We can easily lose our identity. We can become arrogant easily, because you will have more resources to buy better and higher value things. But we cannot afford to lose who we are as a people, the Guyanese people, our identity, our culture. So we have to value life. Not with more resources means that you will drink a better quality rum. Not with more resources mean that you will move from, what do you call it, from white rum to Scotch. That is not what more resources should do. It should bring greater level of responsibility. It should enable us to invest more in ourselves, more in our families, more in our community. Use it to uplift yourself, uplift your families, and uplift your community. We cannot think only about development in terms of beautiful roads and buildings and health and education and jobs. We have to think about development in terms of wellness. mental health, things that are eroding our mental capacity, our mental health, our wellness. And we have to ensure that in the building out of this country, that we also ensure that the abuse of every single substance, every single thing that erode our wellness and our mental health, that we also address those issues. And you might ask, why am I addressing such an issue at this meeting today? I'm addressing it because we love and care for you, and any good family member who love and care for you would try to address even the most difficult issues and difficult problems. I can easily ignore these issues because they are not happy issues, but in ignoring it, I'll be doing an injustice and disservice to you. So my dear brothers and sisters, living a quality life is what we are aspiring to. And a quality life is about better health, better education, better infrastructure, better opportunities for our children, living in dignity, investing in human capital, and in all of these areas that deal with quality of life. In all of these areas, I think this brother sleeping away and he dreaming. And every time he dream on the issue, jump it up and remind me of it. So, all right, sleep again and come back just now. One more you go just now. So, my dear brother, so one of the things you would have heard from the ministers about the plans and programs and projects in every one of these areas. Region 6, Berbice, is going to be the technical training capital of Guyana, the Caribbean and further field. We are not investing more than $150 million in the National Oil and Gas Training Center and the Tourism and Hospitality Training Institute for nothing. We're investing that because it is going to be an international training hub that will bring people to this country, that will be linked to Suriname and linked to the international community so that your region would have an international stature. We are building the New Amsterdam Hospital, a state-of-the-art modern hospital with all of the latest facilities and equipment. But we are also going to bring in the specialist doctors, the nurses, the technicians to support quality health care because we want you to have access to world-class health care. But whilst we are doing that, we are also investing to ensure that your children can become nurses, doctors, lab technicians, because we want our doctors for Region 6 to come from Region 6, our nurses to come from here, our lab technicians to come from here, our pharmacists to come from here, our dental technicians to come from here. And we're not talking that idly. Within 6 weeks, I have tasked a team to bring to me all that is needed to ensure that we can offer right here in Region 6 medical degrees, pharmacy, dentistry, engineering, whatever investment is needed, we will make those investments because your children deserve it. Their future deserve it. We are going to give them the opportunity right here. My friends, value creation. I'm going to talk to you a bit about this. How we are going to create more value. How we are going to create more value here in Region 6. How we are going to use your natural resources, your land, to open up new opportunities and create more opportunities to grow wealth, grow income, and expand the economy. That is what we are talking about. This is the future we are talking about. And of course, in this future, is the investment in security. Your region will be part very soon. We'll start the rolling out of those CCTV cameras throughout this region because you are part of the Safe Country apparatus. And today, as I speak to you, last year figures, the lowest murder rate, the lowest crime rate in the last 2 decades in our country. That tells you that the technology we're investing in is helping us. The speeding cameras that we'll install is not to give you a ticket. It is to ensure that you use the license as a license not to kill, but as a license to drive safely, protecting your life, protecting other people's life. And we want to remove the human bias. So you don't have to say a traffic police stop you and give you a ticket or give you a pass by. Digitally, electronically, you will be given your ticket if you break the law. And you should not want to break the law. Because for us, your life matters. Your safety matters. Very soon, before the end of this year, you will be able to use your mobile device. And if you don't have a mobile device, you will get a device on an electronic payment platform that a businessman can stay here in his bedroom and make a payment in Georgetown, make a payment in Lethem, make a payment in Mabaruma, make a payment in Linden, make a payment anywhere without leaving his home. That is the future we are building. You'll be able to walk in to a facility and go up to a kiosk like an ATM machine and push your license in and make the payment and renew your license right there at that machine. You don't have to go anywhere else. That is what we are busy thinking about. The future we are talking about, and not the future 10 years from now, the future 1 year from now. When with your mobile phone, you'll be linked to your health clinic. So all of you have your clinic days. And you will make your appointment from home. So you don't have to go and wait at the clinic for 3 hours and 4 hours. Your appointment will be scheduled on your device. So you don't lose hours of productive time. The future in which your health file would be on an electronic platform, so that if you're going to Georgetown or to some specialty doctor, you don't have to worry to walk with 10, 20 x-rays. It will be digitally available for those persons to see. A future in which we're not only investing in screening for cancer, we are building one of the most modern cancer treatment facilities. And let me tell you something. We have now increased the dialysis support to $600,000 annually. But I'm concerned here in Region 6 that some of the providers have increased their costs. And I'm also concerned about a lack of capacity. So I've asked already the Minister of Health to come up with a plan through which we can ensure people are not exploited and we expand the facilities for dialysis here in Region 6. But even before we expand that facility, we are now launching a progressive set of ideas to avoid you getting to dialysis. By educating you through primary health care to live better lifestyle so that you can have a healthier life. By trying to identify earlier whether you have diabetes and to treat that earlier so that you don't get to the stage of dialysis or that stage is prolonged by a much longer time frame. But to do this, you also must take responsibility for your health. That is why We have launched the universal health voucher. Go to the hospital, go to the clinic, take that universal health voucher and go and do your tests so we can have the baseline data and support you in living a healthier life. Which other government in this world would wanted people to go and check if something wrong with you so we can help fix it for you? They don't want that headache. They don't want that burden. But we want you to go and check because we want you to have a healthier life. We want to take that burden and that headache to support you to have a healthier life. Just think about it for a moment. We could have avoided any headache, you know, and pretend as if you don't take no test, you don't know what happened with you. But we want you to go and take the test so you can know early if there is something wrong and we can help you fix it. We can work with you to make you healthier, stronger. That is how you care about people. That is how you demonstrate you care about people. So my friends, there is a lot of things that I can speak about that we are pursuing directly to help to improve your lives. And I will speak about some specific things here in this locality. The minister spoke about the 4-lane road that you will get, that will start very soon from New Amsterdam to Molson Creek. But in addition to that 4-lane road, we are already setting aside resources to start the farm to market access road for those cane farmers on the 9,000 acres of land, to give them the drainage and invest in helping them to get back to mega farming. We are now discussing the building an all-weather trail from Molson Creek to Separuta so that we will open up tens of thousands of new acreage of land for production and productivity. That is what is occupying our minds as I speak to you. Very soon, we'll launch a national program where we'll install lights on every single light pole, in every street, on every highway, to make things safer, to create safer communities. Issues of garbage collection, all of these things are what we are going to support. Here in your community, here within the town, we want to help you co-invest with our farmers in tech, agri-tech business opportunities, looking at hydroponics, value-added, looking at co-investing with you in mega farms, helping you with the drainage, with infrastructure, so that you can go to mega farms, mega agriculture, supporting you with a cold storage facility, the drying facility, the storage facility, so that we take away a lot of the risk associated with big investment in agriculture. Those are the things that we're thinking about. Those are the things that we're working on for you. In your area alone, in Molson Creek, in the next 3 years, you will have more than 10,000 house lots created. The building boom, the construction boom, all of these things. The opportunities that will be created with a deep water port, the gas facility, the energy, the new power plant, the substations, hundreds, billions of dollars that will be invested to create a modern industrial manufacturing economic zone here in Region 6, bringing international businesses that must partner with your private sector here to create opportunities, create jobs, and expand the economy of Region 6. That is the plan we are on. Linking the deep water port with northern Brazil, that will increase tremendous transport and logistics requirement and needs. All of those opportunities will come here. So my friends, we have a future ahead of us. But we can also destroy that future by being selfish. We can destroy that future by being ungrateful. We can destroy that future by being opportunistic. We can destroy that future by being naive. This is not about me. I am a humble servant. If tomorrow the PPP Civic believe that in the interest of the party, we can have someone else, I'll be here fighting with the PPP, because this is bigger than any one of us. This is bigger. The party and the government, the PPP Civic government, is larger than any one of us. So let us take our arrogance, let us take our proudness like a peacock down a notch and understand that we win on the platform of humility, and we are only but servants to the people of this country. So as we build out this country, and I can go on and on. You know, if it wasn't for the PPP Civic government, your children, in the Because We Care grant alone, we have transferred $200 million directly to your children in these communities. Just imagine that. Imagine that $200 million was I'm not even talking about the cash grant and all the other initiatives. I'm not even going to talk to you about the more than 2,100 pensioners that benefited from $4.5 billion of cash transfer in their pension in these localities. I'm not going to talk to you about any of that. But I'm going to say to you that your future also depends on your consciousness. And always remember, your consciousness is driven not by selfishness, but selflessness. Let your conscience be your guide. Let your conscience be your guide. And once your conscience is your guide, I'm convinced that you will do nothing else but support the People's Progressive Party Civic. I thank you, and God bless all of you. I thank you for your support. I thank all of you for your hard work. I thank all of you for your commitment to this country. I thank all of you for being a part of us. I thank all of you for allowing us to be a part of you. I thank you for sharing your time with us this evening. And may God bless all of you and your families richly. Thank you very much.